Hello, my name is Curtis Davis and I will be doing a presentation on work-based learning at Shoe. Shoe is a well-known footwear company in the UK. As you can see, over the recent years, Shoe has become established in the UK footwear market with a 3.2% market share in 2012 and reports of strong growth in profit. So, what policies will be covered in this presentation? This presentation will cover one informal policy, dress code at work, and one formal policy, social media policy at work. So, what is a policy? A policy is a type of implemented framework that is commonly used within the majority of businesses around the globe, and these can come in two separate types, formal and informal. Depending on what policies are available in the workplace, businesses may have different objectives. For example, Apple may have policies centered around the aim of profit, and the Body Shop may have policies centered around environmental change and such. And definitions of policies include Armstrong, which is a policy is generalized guidance of how issues should be dealt with, and so forth. So, the first informal policy, dress code. Informal policies are known as not official, written down, or public, but instead represent individually negotiated or private agreements between an employee and his or her supervisor. And dress code is a policy which describes certain items of clothing that you'll wear when in the workplace. For example, at Shoe we have a t-shirt and lanyard that used to be worn at all times. And studies showed that out of 2,000 working adults in the UK, 80% said they turn up wearing work clothing. What is the current state of this policy at Shoe then? Well, actually, there's just been a change, which means that no longer do you have to wear work clothes at Shoe, and instead the old uniform that can be seen in the picture doesn't have to be worn anymore, and employees can wear whatever they want to wear. So why does this policy exist? It exists because the employees at Shoe wanted to change up what was allowed to be worn at work, and instead we wanted the opportunity to express ourselves individually and show to customers that we have our own styles and can help in any way. Also, we still have to wear the lanyards at work. These contain information and advertising of services that are offered, such as we do kids fittings, and we also have Black Friday offers and sales on all the time. And these are also represented by specific badges, which shows the different levels that employees have used to get to that level. So, is this policy helpful for managers? Well, yeah, because the policy helps managers distinguish between employees and effectively allow for more diversity in the workplace. And also from this, the employees feel more motivated to work because they're allowed to come in whatever clothes they want and feel like they can express themselves and show their personality in the workplace. And also, the informal policy has actually helped stakeholders improve face-to-face customer sales, according to research from Donovan Brown and Moen in 2004. So, are there any issues with implementing this new policy? Yeah. Well, with the new policy to wear any clothing, managers have to be aware of the Equality Act, which protects all UK citizens and employees from discrimination on taking any offence to certain clothing items. Also, employees needed a small amount of time to adjust to the new policy, and often employees would turn up to work in uniform still, not realising that the policy had ended and it's become informal. So, although there was no official policy, employees were still expected to abide by socially accepted rules, such as, for example, employees must wear shoes bought from Shoe. You couldn't turn up in other shoes that were not allowed. And employees could not wear clothing that may be considered offensive, so any clothing with offensive language and such wasn't allowed at all. And other things. The usually accepted shoes were stuff like Vans and New Balance were allowed at any time, and you'd never be argued at for wearing stuff like that. It's also important to talk about the informal organisation, which refers to the network of relationships that spontaneously establish themselves between members of the organisation on the basis of their common interests and friendships. And this is just to show that behind the scenes of the business place, employees often talk and decided what was allowed and what was not allowed, and it just became common procedure instead of a formal policy that was written down. And being an informal policy issue, dress code can also shape employee behaviours, and this may affect what employees think is acceptable to wear at work. So, can this policy be improved? Two things that could be done to improve this policy are the improvements in communication between management and the HR department with the employees of SHU. There could be better communication to say what exactly is allowed and not allowed, instead of managers picking and choosing what should be allowed, and also depending on the manager. And also, it should incentives that should encourage employees to wear SHU products. There should be some sort of deal, or you should get a free pair of shoes for being an employee, or at least a discount of some sort, so that you have shoes to wear specifically to work all the time.